Welcome to the podcast. This is Speaking Of. I'm your host, Eric Petty. With me today, Natalie Leedy.
Hello.
Hooray. At the beginning of the show, we always do a little segment called 3 Questions. Yay! All right. First question is, Leedy has a last name.
Yes.
Is that one of those that as one of your ancestors, was one of those people kind of came in and tried to take too much charge all the time, and tried to take the lead, and they would say, hey, do you know Dave? And they'd say, yeah, but he's kind of leady. Is that where that came from?
Definitely.
Do you actually know where that name came from?
I think it's Italian, but it's my husband's name.
Did you say Italian?
Italian?
You also say Nintendo?
Italian?
I think so.
Nintendo.
Well, that's why I always say Italian and Nintendo too, and everybody always...
Nintendo?
Then how you spell it. I think that's how you spell it. I don't know.
Okay.
So that's for question number 1.
Okay.
Why do you have 2 footprints on either side of your legs?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You guys can't see this at home, I don't think, but on her pants down here, there's 2 footprints.
Because I have children. Mornings are rough.
Right. My third question is, can I get you a water or anything?
No, I'm good.
Good. 'Cause I don't have any, so.
I brought my own.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I don't see it anywhere.
Right there.
Really, most important question is, what would you say you do here at the University of St. Francis?
So I am project manager for the university. I manage all of our affiliation agreements. So anytime any of our students go to an outside facility, we have an agreement that they sign and we sign, basically general rules and things that we both abide by.
Yeah.
So I manage all of those. I get the signatures on all of those. I collect all of the faculty required documents for the College of Health Sciences.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I dozed off there just for a couple minutes.
That's okay.
Just wait. This sounds like
That's a boring.
a bunch of administrative stuff.
Yeah. I'm really good at just working in the background, keeping things going.
Is that what gets this place going? Is you?
No, I don't think it's just.
Unsung hero?
No, I don't think I'm an unsung hero.
I think you are. I think you're, well, you're certainly not sung.
No. I don't think anybody's ever sung about me.
Do you know? Are there any Natalie songs out there? Like
Probably.
Like by Boston or like old Doobie Brothers? Like
I bet if we really looked, you could find one, but not that I'm aware of.
Hey, John, look that up and see if there are any Natalie name-based songs. Just out of sheer curiosity.
We can learn something new today.
There isn't any with Eric in it that I know.
No? I bet if you looked hard enough, someone made one.
I hope not. I don't know what you're going to do with that. My name comes from Theodoric.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was an old king name.
Sure.
Something like that. If you ever watched the movie Dragon Slayer, it's an old Disney movie. It's a really good movie.
Okay.
King Theodoric.
All right.
You should look that up. It's a really good movie. Very obscure. They don't even show it on Disney Channel any longer.
Probably on the Disney app.
No.
No?
No. They don't show it on
I thought
there.
everything was on there.
No.
Disney
it's not.
Plus?
It's a really, really good movie.
Okay.
You'd really dig it. It's like
Dragon Slayer.
1983. You can find it on those crappy streaming channels like Pluto
Oh,
or
yeah.
Tubi.
Sure. They're usually free.
But you got like 45 minutes. There's more commercials than there is the movie,
Sure.
which should be called the commercial channel.
Yeah, my kids would be confused. They don't know what commercials are.
Not anymore, they don't. I grew up with commercials. So
Yes.
You have other hobbies, though.
Sure.
Other than this paperwork crap or whatever, that's fine. If you guys need paperwork done,
Call me.
that's the person to go to. What's your other big hobby that you do?
Outside of work, I am a beekeeper.
And what's that called again?
Apiarist.
That's right.
An apiarist.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think that means?
The keeper of the bees.
Yeah, but why is it apiary?
I think their hives are apiaries. So apiarist.
A beehive is known as an apiary?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't either.
John, you might want to look that up too. John has nothing to do today, and so he's sitting down. Oh, that's right.
Look at that.
Bruno Mars had a song
It
called
must
Natalie.
be even like halfway recent.
I think that the music video had the girl from Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift in it.
Oh, must have been a
Does that
good
sound
one.
right? So that's important.
See?
Look, you smarty,
I went to bee school.
What's that exactly?
It's a 4-hour class that they put on and help you build your first beehive and tell you basics of beekeeping. So I've done that class twice, actually. I'm moving up to intermediate bee school in a couple weeks.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Did you get an A or a C in that class? You didn't get
It's
a B?
actually just pass-fail.
Oh, well, that kind of sucks, doesn't it?
My hive stood, so I passed.
Don't you think in that class that the highest grade would be a B?
I would think so.
Does anybody, when you ask questions that are really like intrusive or out of whack, they would say, that's really none of your beeswax?
Definitely.
If you come in and you're a little out of sorts in the day, they would probably say that you have like a bee in your bonnet.
Yeah, for sure.
If you went and had your home remodeled and put new windows in, would you choose bee window versus Anderson or Pella?
Probably.
Probably me too. I don't have any idea what any of those. My wife handles all that stuff.
Sure.
What do you do with bees though? What's the gig with that?
They make honey and
I'm sorry?
they make honey.
Bees do?
Bees do.
John, you want to look that up?
And they also, I really like my flower gardens.
Oh.
And so they pollinate my flowers also, which is helpful.
How many of these do you have?
I have 4 hives. I have 2 at my house and 2 at my dad's house. My dad actually has apple trees. And so the
So he needs
bees,
those.
the bees really help.
Yeah.
So each apple needs pollinated like a crazy, like 100 times or a crazy number of times by a bee in order for it to be perfectly round.
What?
Yep.
I've never heard that
Yeah.
before.
So perfectly round apples.
If it's not pollinated that many times, what happens to it then?
Oh, they're kind of lumpy and funny shaped, which they're still edible.
I don't know if I want to eat a lumpy out of.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of like a radioactive mutant.
I mean, bees do a lot of things.
Do the bees know who you are?
We have a very much love-hate relationship. I love them, and they very much hate me.
They do?
Yeah.
And you have that little smoky jobby?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. My one hive did not make it through the winter last year, which is not uncommon. It's about 50-50 whether they live all winter or not.
What?
And then I had ordered new bees because you get bees in a box and then you put them in your box and then they make their home in there. But I had a swarm of wild bees actually move into my hive, which was great because wild bees, they're a little bit older than like brand new bees. And because they've lived in the wild for some time, they're a little stronger, also a lot more aggressive. So they are very intense. I have one hive that are very, very nice. I can get in there. I can mess around. They don't mess with me too much. The other hive, they see me coming. It's game on.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about bees.
Some of them are aggressive and some of them aren't.
I've been stung by a few of them here and there.
Sure.
I have no problem with that. I enjoy honey.
Sure.
I like the beeswax crap.
Yeah.
The Burt's Beeswax.
Yeah.
I like candles that are made out of. There's this so much, and didn't
They're
they find when they opened up Tutankhamun's tombs some years ago in Egypt? Didn't they find honey that was still there, and it was still?
I think you're right. Yep.
They came back in.
Honey's the only thing in the world that doesn't expire.
Why is that?
I think because it goes through such a long process, the bees make it so perfectly that it just is good forever.
So what do you do with that? You raise the bees up. They're a bunch of troubled children, obviously.
Yeah.
A bunch of pain in the ass. You take the honey. What do you do?
Yep. So I have to check on them occasionally, and you have to feed them, especially early spring. And if the dandelions don't come up in time, sometimes they'll run out of food like before the dandelions come. So then you have to supplement feed them
With?
Sugar, actually, white sugar.
That's it?
Yep. Mixed with water.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yep. It is pretty easy. And so you do have to feed them a little bit to try to get them until the flowers start to bloom, because obviously that's what they eat.
Yeah.
And I check on them if they're getting overcrowded in their box. I'll add another box on top so they can keep growing and expanding. And obviously the more boxes you have, the more area they have to make honey. And they do need a certain amount of honey to make it through winter. But then anything above and beyond that much honey, then I get to keep the honey.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I have to keep them healthy enough to make excess honey so I can take some of the honey.
You think that's why they're so angry with you all the time? Keep taking all their crap?
Yeah, probably.
It would be.
I disrupt them.
You walk home and you're like, didn't I just have pizza in the fridge? No, I took that out of there. Come on.
Yeah, at the end of the season, you have to treat them for mites. There's these little hive beetles.
Yeah, isn't that the collapse of the things they're talking about? Beehive collapse or something
Yeah,
like that?
they will. They're pretty intense. Your hives won't be as strong if they have these mites or the beetles. So all hives have a few of them. If your hive's really strong, they can actually fight them away. But if your hive isn't super strong, they need help from us. And so
That's sweet of you.
like.
Here they hate you so much and all that. And
I know, and I still clean all the mites
That's
out
nice
and
of you.
vaporize. You put this little thing in their hive and it vaporizes all the mites and kills them.
That sounds pretty aggressive. Do you handle the bee colonies that are here over in the prairie on
Nope,
St. Francis?
I do not.
Beavers?
But when I go on my walks, I check them out. I say hi to them so they like me.
Is that kind of crazy
Yeah,
to do that?
yeah.
Hi, oh my God. Why don't you get yourself a good hive of those Africanized bees?
The Africanized bees?
Yeah, bring those here in town. Be the person that does that.
Yeah.
Let's just cut it to the chase and quit the struggling. I used to hear that when I was a kid, when I was back in like 1977. They're like, oh, the Africanized bees are coming for us.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Well, they're probably strong. They're probably pretty strong.
They say they are strong. They can't handle cold, and
Yep.
they don't produce as much honey. So
Right.
you're going to have a
But
real
they're very
problem.
strong.
But they're very strong.
Yep.
They just don't like the cold.
Yeah, we typically around here, they say a lot of people have Italian bees.
Did you say Italian again? You're sticking with that?
Yeah.
Even after bee rating? Mm-hmm. This project management thing, what's your job description then?
I'm not sure.
I don't. So it just says, you look at your evaluation, it says project manager.
Yes.
And then it says,
Other-
okay, whatever.
Other duties as assigned.
Other duties as assigned.
Yeah.
What kind of, we talked about the paperwork.
Yeah.
What projects do we have going on right now
So,
that's secret and clandestine that you can't talk about that you need to tell our viewers about
okay,
immediately?
I'll tell you everything I got.
Right. What do you got?
So right now, obviously, one of the big ones is the Lafayette Leffler expansion.
Yeah.
My involvement with that is going room by room, program by program of what is moving. Currently, I'm doing Lafayette and the programs that are moving.
What's
there.
moving?
Our sonography program, our radiology program, our MRI program, and then Leffler Academy is also going to be there.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so kind of imaging.
Okay.
And then actually in Lafayette, our St. Elizabeth site is right across the street.
Okay.
So they do nursing across the street. So they're not going to be in this building that we just acquired.
Do you have to
but-
inventory all that garbage? How many chairs are in each room? And
Yeah.
what the hell
Yep.
is that?
So I have to, how many chairs, how many tables, how many ultrasound machines, gloves, IV poles.
Is that the sexy part of this job?
Yeah.
All the
It's very
inventory?
exciting. I have a deep connection with Microsoft Excel.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
The data alone in there must be just so much fun to put in.
Yeah,
the
I
detail.
enjoy it. And then when, because we're doing it in kind of a staged approach, so when we need the supplies by,
Yeah.
so then obviously we can budget to purchase these supplies by this date and these supplies by this date and these supplies by this date.
When's the project going to happen when they finally tear down Trinity and put something new in there that's worth a darn?
I heard that the Trinity Plaza is hopefully going to start being built this summer.
What's that?
So I don't know a ton about it, but across from the
Lie
coffee,
to me. I don't care.
across from the coffee shop, it'll
Yeah.
be kind of a outdoor student seating area. It'll look really nice.
Isn't it where the garbage is right now?
Yes.
Where are they going to put the garbage and all that stuff?
I'm not sure. That's actually
Over at
not
Dormer?
That's not one of my projects.
That's not.
No.
Who handles that kind of project stuff? If not
I
you?
think operations and maintenance are.
Are they above you? Are they that much better than you? Do they think they're better than you?
They're pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah.
What's it going to look like? Is it going to be just like a deck?
I think like fire pits, chairs. I think the art from downtown might go somewhere in there.
The art from downtown?
Yeah, it was like birds and flowers.
Oh, that was outside of the building.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we took it down.
I always wonder what happened to that.
They want to repurpose some of it and maybe put it in Trinity Plaza. I think
That'll be all right.
it won't be the same like design and picture because that was a much bigger space. But
Are they going to fix that heat issue over there? Because it's sweltering
In Trinity?
It's sweltering hot anytime you walk in there.
Is it? I mean, again, that's a facilities maintenance question that I can't answer.
Not to sound insensitive, but for a religious institution, that's as close to hell as you're going to get. I think
Maybe that's their goal.
there was one. John and I went into one of these rooms one time when he first started. It was a marketing meeting, right? And I said, "Oh my God!" It was a wall of heat. You walked in. I said, "What's it so hot in here?" And they said, "In the back where somebody's room was. Remember this? In the back." That the guy used to put his shoes on this one spot, and he picked them up, and the sole had melted. I don't know if that's true.
Wow.
'Cause that's close to hell if I come.
Yeah.
From what I've read.
Yeah.
Paradise Lost alone talks
Sure.
to that. But so you guys gonna fix that pretty soon? You part of that? Natalie?
Not part of that.
Come on.
No.
You also handle the immersive
I do.
suite here.
Yes.
What exactly is that thing? I don't know that everybody knows necessarily what that is. I mean, I hear of rumors.
Sure.
Some other stuff. What is that?
Yeah, the immersive suite is really neat technology that we have. It is in the basement of Dormer, but it is open for everybody to use. It is a 14 by 14 room. It's kind of a square, and 3 of the walls and half of the floor have projectors projecting on them, and it is completely touchscreen and customizable. So it's really cool. You can actually immerse yourself into any space. So I know you can put yourself into an operating room. You can put yourself into downtown Fort Wayne. You can put yourself into a hospital in the 1800s. So you could kind of put yourself anywhere. And also there are like Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, some kind of fun quiz games. And then the students actually get to go in there and they can touch the walls to answer the questions and move around a little bit. So it kind of makes the students' brains work a little bit differently in there, kind of get new experiences to learn in different ways.
Why would I want to experience the 1800s? Because of just aching to know what cholera's like, or what's the benefit?
Who wouldn't want that?
Let's go and throw caution to the wind.
I know the hospital in the 1800s, that's a popular one. Florence Nightingale, who more or less invented modern day nursing.
Yeah.
It has her actually talking about herself, talking about the things that she did. And she's actually walking around what appears to be a hospital that maybe would have been like what she worked in.
Was this an AI thing, or is this an actor doing it? Is it you?
No, it's a little bit cartoony.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I don't even know if it was 1800s. I don't know the date.
Hey, John, you want to look that up? See what Florence.
I'm not a nursing major. It was a long
I don't
time
know if
ago.
that's they don't have like a Florence Nightingale 101, do they?
This
Class?
is the Florence Nightingale 101.
Oh, okay.
It is. And so one of her big things I've learned from doing this experience in the immersive suite is she was big on things being clean in the cleanliness of hospitals.
Yeah.
And so you can tell there's like little rats running around on the floor and like lots of cobwebs everywhere. And so after she's done talking, there's a little quiz. So you can take a quiz about the things that she talked about. And then you actually get to clean up the room and catch the rats.
If you can get people to do that, I'm going to bring my teenage daughter in. Actually, no, she's 20 now. And you can show her how to clean up
Sure.
stuff. And I imagine anybody else is watching this with teenagers. You come in and they teach you how to clean your room. Isn't that the whole lesson, though, really, honestly? Florence Nightingale telling you how to tidy up your room.
I'm not sure that was her main point.
No, that's not the 101.
No, but she was big into cleanliness.
I know that this university is made of cash. And we're throwing out money
All the time.
hand over fist.
Sure.
Where did this come from? How did we get it?
So there's a company, it's called Echo Healthcare, and we get some of our simulation accessories from them. So when we were buying things for the sim lab in Crown Point and the sim lab here, we ordered some things, and actually Angie was on their website and she saw this technology.
Angie Harrell.
Yes.
Okay.
And my office at the time was right next to hers. So she's like, hey, come check this out. And so I went in and we kind of like looked at it. We thought, how cool would this be to have? And it was during our construction in Dormer. And like, it'd be really cool to put in this certain space.
Yeah.
And she's like, why don't you look more into that? And so I already had a contact at that company because we were currently working with them for some other things. And she actually set us up with a tour of one of the suites in Grand Rapids. They were the closest one around us. So we, Dean Harrell, myself, and Jessica Eggers, we went up to Grand Rapids and checked it out. It was really cool. And we loved it. But obviously it does have a pretty pricey price tag on it. And we are not made of money here at the university.
No.
So we started thinking of like potential donors or how maybe we could make this happen. And at the time it was it was during the anniversary of the Lutheran College acquisition,
Yeah.
25th anniversary. And so we had a couple partners that were walking through to see our new spaces. And Angie happened to mention it to one of the members of the Dormer Family Foundation that happened to be here looking at our spaces. And they loved the idea and said that they would fully fund it. So
Wow.
a couple months later, we had it installed.
Stay tuned, folks. We're going to go over to the immersive lab here and show you what this thing is.
All right, here is the immersive suite. It is a room here. It is 3 walls and half of the floor. Everything is completely customizable. Everything is touch screen. So there's a lot of experiences that we already have in here, and there's a lot of them that we can create. This is our friend Florence Nightingale. She is the kind of the founder of modern day nursing. She did a lot of things for nursing, so we use this experience for the first year nursing students. They come in here, learn about her, and we get to showcase kind of some of our cool technology. So as you can see, like when you walk across the floor, if you want to take a step through the floor, it'll actually track your footsteps. And then also that book that's right behind you is lighting up if you touch the book. Right. Florence will actually start talking to us. So she tells us a little bit about her life and then tells us to touch another item in the room and then touch another item in the room. And it's just a new way to get students kind of learning.
Is that really what Florence Nightingale looked like?
Definitely.
What room number is this? This is in the bottom floor dormer.
Yes, this is in the lower level of Dormer 064. This is the Dormer Family Foundation Immersive Interactive Suite. It's the technical name for it.
How do you find this room down here? Because there are literally no arrows pointing anywhere. It's just kind of take a shot at it.
Another great thing that I'm working on right now is signage for the building.
That'd be great.
So all the drafts have been approved and may have been ordered or are on their way. So that is good. But if you take the elevator down and then take a left and then another left, we're right around the corner from the elevator.
Okay, well, that's easy enough to find.
Yeah, there will be signs pointing right to it.
This is available for pretty much anybody to talk to you about, to utilize what?
Absolutely, all of the above. So the Immersive Interactive Suite was donated to the university for all of our programs to use. If you are interested in using it, I'm happy to connect with you and we can either create an experience or we have about 10,000 experiences that came with it. So a lot of times the programs can find something that applies to their program or we can create something for their program. There's a lot of like quiz shows there, and so even if you can't find one that directly applies to your program, there's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, there's Jeopardy.
Let's show a few of those, because this was all about cleanliness and sanitation and stuff like that. Because if you look over there, John, there's a bed with a bunch of people in it. They're sick or whatever, and I think there was some down the video line here. There was more information about how to clean up the environment. Well, let's show some of the Jeopardy and some of the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire stuff. So I'm kind of curious. Let's see how smart I am today.
Let's see how smart you are. So we'll do.
You're just using a regular old keypad.
Keyboard and mouse, yeah. Or there is a tablet that connects to it as well. I'm going to turn this down.
Very dramatic music. So that's just a wireless keyboard that you control pretty much everything through here.
Yep. All the things that aren't touch screen on here, we control with the keyboard and mouse. Or like I said, there is a tablet that brings up the program and you can just touch what you need as well.
So that's the start button, is a little hand, huh?
Yep. So who wants to be a millionaire?
Okay, I do.
You do.
I want to say this on record.
Let's see if we can make it happen today.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but I really do. So press play again. Trade brand name for medication is always capitalized. I'm going to say true on that one.
Look at that. You're up to 500 points already. So this is a fun way to get your students kind of interacting with the room, up and moving, while using what they learned in the classroom.
What's the question mark over there they're doing?
That's going to give us a new question.
Oh, that really is. Example of controlled medication is, I don't know, John, you got anything on this? Controlled, I'm going to go with metoprolol. Ow! Of course it's hydromorphone. Whatever.
Your dreams of becoming a millionaire aren't happening today.
Apparently, I'm going to be only 1,000 point in there. So then you get this home button back there. That apparently that takes you back.
Leave it
Oh, it takes you, restarts it. Press the home hotspot to play again. Okay.
Yeah. So then we go back to the beginning.
Well, let's go on to the Jeopardy once. I'm
Sure.
curious. I'm better at Jeopardy anyways.
You're better at Jeopardy.
This is old news. This was years ago.
Jeopardy.
Medi Party.
Medi Party.
Medi Petty Margie Party.
Yeah.
So what's this?
So this is welcoming us to Jeopardy.
Okay.
Or
Geopedical.
Geopedical.
That's kind of really pushing the...
Who's ready to Medi Party?
I am.
All right. So as you can see, for this one, we have the little scores on the side so we can keep track. So what would you like?
I'm going scenarios.
You just pick which number you want.
During the primary assessment of a geriatric patient complaining of shortness of breath and fever, you quickly locate the radial pulse. What should you do next? Okay, I'm going to say assess the patient's breathing because that's critical.
Oh.
No? Mm-mm. So what do I do?
We're going to try again.
Try it again. I'm going to say assess the patient's breathing. You just said that. Come on. I'm not a trained physician or nurse.
I'm going to go with...
Did I lose?
It's okay. You need to...
Did I lose the patient? That's probably the better...
So you need a negative 100 and I need to positive 100.
I don't want to do a negative 100. So I got a negative hundo, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so I see this. It's this kind of a weird scoring thing because I'm negative green, but you're positive
Well, I
red.
think I'm just always red and you're just always
Must
green.
be, so that's okay.
Yeah. And then there are 3 rounds, so you can completely customize your categories. You can customize all of your questions. And
how would they do that though? Do they send the questions to you then?
Yep.
And you just put them in and say, not a big deal?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else you got? What else? Show me how. Regale me with your technology.
What else we have here? So these are the nursing tours.
I got a question. Who would want to escape CPR?
CPR. Well, that is an escape room.
Oh, of course.
Using the knowledge of how to do
please,
CPR.
I couldn't possibly have.
So let's not use this one.
You get the tour.
Yes. Tour is where I put all of the new ones that I...
Well, speaking of tours, oddly enough, you and John are working on some massive, horrendously, incredibly large tour here, correct?
We are. John and I in marketing have been working together on the QR code tour for the university, and it is going to be where if a person and their family are walking around campus or if admissions is giving a tour, they will be able to scan QR codes throughout the university to learn more about programs, to learn more about things we do at the university. So when you scan the QR code, you'll have the opportunity to talk to students that are here currently. You'll have the watch a video from alumni or from somebody that actually works in the program.
I guess you didn't need a host because I wasn't contacted.
No.
You didn't need a
Not
host?
this time.
No, you didn't need one.
Actually,
You let me
maybe
know.
we didn't get the email back.
I know something happened.
I'm not
I think
sure.
people keep saying that to John all the time too.
I'm not sure what
Trying to
happened.
get hold
Do you guys want to go to the Maldives
I do.
and go underwater?
Where exactly are the Maldives? Wait a minute. Where is the Maldives?
Are there more than one? Are they a group of islands?
Is that a plural or is that just the name of it?
No idea.
I don't even.
No idea. But so this, it's kind of comforting. You're underwater, and then
Let me
you can
create my
actually
own
make
bubbles.
bubbles.
See that, John? Let me do that one more time because that's
Amazing.
I love that.
Yeah. So this
how
is
tranquil this is.
It is. It is.
That's really. Oh, actually, it looks like it's making bubbles from where I'm. Sort of
From where
standing from,
it
too.
is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, was this? We have a 360 degree camera, correct?
We do. Yep. So this room actually came with a 360 camera, so we can take it anywhere. Maybe into the hospital setting for our clinical students, so we can show them exactly what they're going to be getting into when they go to clinicals. We could do it for places around Fort Wayne, maybe for prospective students, or however.
Yeah.
It could go.
Well, did you use one? I thought you showed me an
I sure
example
did.
last
Yeah, I
time
walked
where-
around campus and took some pictures around campus.
Let's see what that looks like.
So maybe on a rainy day like today, a tour that can't be outside maybe could be done here in the immersive suite.
Fair enough. So you made all this.
I did. This one's not finished yet, but it is in the works. So pick a place to go. All right, here we are in front of Dormer, the chapel, JP2, and then behind you, Ackett's.
Oh yeah, I didn't even noticed that back here.
Yeah. That's kind of a cool. And then if you want to pick a new spot on campus to go, you'll actually touch the home over there, which you may need to, I think you might have to shut the door.
We got the door open right here, so there we go. Let's see what it does.
So pick somewhere else. So eventually these will all be named and you can pick where you'd want to go.
So that's under the awning over at Ackett's Hall.
in the Ackett's outdoor classroom.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and a good view of the lake. You could see North Campus across the street. I thought you can't see Brookside from here. You can see the
No, you really
campus.
can't.
You can see campus ministry there.
This must be pretty much somewhere in the kind of middle of those big catalpa trees. They have those beautiful white flowers on
you're
there.
right.
I never noticed that.
Yep.
What was the last time we did this? You showed us a really cool video of was it the desert? What was that?
Oh yeah, so we have one that's around the world, and I did not unfortunately take the videos and create it.
You should.
But it kind of shows lots of amazing places around the world.
Air Pano.
Air Pano Presents. So this was one that came with the
So
technology.
that said that was filmed in 8K.
That's what it said.
Now that's most of your, like what we're filming in right now is 1080p. It's 1K for
Okay.
the most part. But that's a huge file, and that's why I think you're getting all this resolution.
Oh sure.
And why this looks so clear,
Yeah.
and why it feels like you're gonna. I feel
Go
like
right
I'm
into it?
wondering, yeah, it feels like you're.
Yeah.
Really feels like you're moving, like I'm going over this.
Yeah. There is one other one. I don't think I showed it to you last time, but that's pretty cool. Is the Blue Angels, the airplanes.
Let's see what we got.
And you actually fly with them, which is really cool.
You also throw up with them because.
Yeah, I do actually.
I would too.
That one is in here. So this is one we've created for when we do tours of students. This is a kind of a general, kind of shows everybody a little bit about the immersive suite.
So it's right behind you.
Yep. So here we are, we're taking off. We go upside down, we plummet towards the ground.
Every horrible fear that I have.
Yeah.
Right? Got anything else about monsters under the bed or in my closet or anything else I can be terrified
Yeah, I
of?
have one where you fight aliens.
That's kind of what I want to do anyways.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
That's really cool that they do something like this. That
Yeah,
it really is immersive. It's a
It
nice
is.
opportunity.
it is. We can take you anywhere. You can do anything in here. And it is a new way of learning for the students, which is really cool. And students are always really impressed, and they love their days in here.
What's the point of flying this close to each other?
Maybe
Any point of this? Come on,
you
get
can.
over. Get
give me some space.
get over a little bit. If we wanted to have something, I'm a teacher, and I say, you
Yeah.
know, I got some idea.
Yeah.
Can I sit down and brainstorm with you? And
Absolutely,
say,
absolutely.
what kind of opportunity is this, or
Yeah.
what's the best use of your time and our time
Absolutely.
as students?
Yep. So this is where I get motion sick actually in this, because
Right, this is
we're
a-
plummeting right towards the ground.
This is a barf maker. Yee.
This one's intense. But yeah, I'm super happy to meet with anybody and discuss what we could potentially do in this room.
Yeah.
It's a really fun part of my job, and creating things in here is really cool.
I got to back up to go forward because we're almost
Sure.
done here, folks. That how much honey do you actually make with this? Seems like a huge waste of time, but I don't know. It seems like you really love being a beekeeper.
My bees, they make, so like I said, I upgraded to 4 hives last year, but we only got honey off of one of our hives last year, and it got us about 6 gallons. And that's enough for us and our family. So we don't sell it at the farmer's market or anything, but we have enough
6
honey for
gallons is enough?
Yeah.
It sounds like enough for like the entire school.
No, you'd be surprised. If you put it in your coffee every day, it goes pretty quick.
You put honey in your coffee?
Yeah.
John, you do that? No, I think so.
Maybe you guys should try.
I'm not gonna. And we also figured out you defended yourself the other day.
Yes.
Because the other day I talked about how you had weird footprints on your pants.
Yes.
But you let me know why that is. What was
I
the?
figured it out.
What
The
was it?
mystery is solved. My pants that day are short because I'm very tall, and so I use my shoes to make them be longer.
You know, you and I are the same height,
Sure.
and I don't have short pants.
Well, you probably don't shop in the women's section.
Most of the time I don't. Thank you for being with us
Yeah,
and
of
showing us
course.
Immersive Lab here.
course.
This is a great opportunity. If you want to come down and experience this and feel like you're just absolutely going to experience something you've never done before in your entire life, come on by and see this. Natalie Leedy, I'm
Absolutely.
going to put the email right here down at
Yeah.
the bottom, and she'll be able to get a hold of you. John Sellers is the guy holding the camera. He likes being behind the camera so he can laugh at me saying stupid things. But if you want to know something else about production, whatever, get a hold of him. He's a good person to work with, has a wealth of knowledge, and we have a lot of equipment here to work with. So
Absolutely.
if you got any questions, come by and see us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have some honey.
See you next time.
See you, everybody.